great pleasure right now to welcome to our show today a man who has written a very interesting book. Anybody interested in the show Star Trek like I am, it's called Obsessed with Star Trek, Testing Your Knowledge of the Star Trek Universe. We're joined by Chip Carter today from the great city of Las Vegas. And Chip, thanks for being with us. How are you today?
Oh, I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Great to have a chance to talk to you. When Mike sent me the notes that you're available, I wanted to have you on. I'm an original Star Trek fan. Grew up watching that as a kid, the original show, and of course in reruns as well. I know this book encompasses all of the series, but I guess that's still the one that kind of resounds the most, doesn't it?
No, never heard of that one. Yeah, of course, that one still I think is the most probably the most iconic one, and the one that most people know.
Of course, with William Shatner, but then the second series, which came out, I guess, in the late 80s or mid-80s, I guess that was. I was kind of skeptical when that second series came back. I figured, no way they're going to be able to match or definitely not top it, but even match the quality. But they were able to do that for that series and the subsequent 3 or 4 series after that, particularly with the special effects and the storylines. I think they did a great job.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were a little reluctant at first when The Next Generation came out, but I think by the third season, the show had found its stride. Everybody really started loving it.
Are you an original fan of the show, or did you just kind of take this on as a separate project and then become a fan later?
No, I have been a fan ever since I was a little kid, probably 6 or 7. I just kind of discovered it, in reruns. It was like 71, 72, something like that. And discovered it in reruns and got hooked and have been a fan ever since, and have been lucky enough to parlay the love of Star Trek into somewhat of a career sometimes.
The original show on NBC was threatened to be canceled, I believe, after the first year, and I think fans had a write-in campaign to keep it on for another 2 years, which showed then the effect the show had on the people that followed it. And like you said in your title of your book, Obsessed with Star Trek. I guess there are people out there that are obsessed with it, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm one of them, and I've seen many others.
Talk a little bit about how you put this together. You have over 2,500 different questions in it. Obviously, you have to research just about every episode. What was your process?
No, I knew it all off the top of my head. Just printed it all out.
I kind of believe that with Star Trek fans. You probably could.
Well, I honestly, I did know a lot of the information. I mean, I'd seen everything. I'd worked at the studio, so I certainly probably had a leg up on someone who hadn't ever really watched the show or liked the show as much as I did, but it was definitely research. It probably took me 6 months just to write the questions, a month or 2 to get the images approved, and then another 2 to 3 months of going back and forth. You try not to have duplicate questions, and it's kind of inevitable when you're doing 2,500. So my editor was great, able to catch some duplicates, and then we had to write more ones. So, it was a long process, about 9 months, almost a year.
You got some great pictures in the book, and I guess, like you said, the licensed photos, so you probably had to do some work there to get that, but it looks like you got just about everything covered as far as the pictures go. Some great photos in the book. How'd you put those together?
Well, thanks. Well, again, since I'd worked there, I knew the people in the archives. I was able to get into the archives, look through things. The challenge there, a lot of people would not know, especially with the special effects stuff in a TV show. That's all added later, and all that we would have would be, people would know that, but all we would have is set photography. So sometimes there'd be things you think would be obvious things to catch on a set photography visit, and there just weren't. So there were things I wanted to put in there, and it just didn't even exist, except as like on video. And if you grab that and print that in a book this size, it's just going to look so blurry, it wouldn't be good.
Right. Do you split it up pretty evenly between all the series, or does the original have more questions, or how'd you break that up?
I tried to do it pretty evenly. The first 5, 6 chapters are devoted to each of the different TV series and the films. And then we go into like the aliens, the ships and technology, the cosmic phenomenon, and stuff like that. So tried to keep it pretty evenly spaced throughout.
And for Star Trek fans, or even not Star Trek fans, there's great amount of backstory in all the characters, all the series. You sort of have to, the Klingon language is a language, there's all the different the Borgs and all that. So there's a lot of backstory, too, that goes with the series and the films, right?
And we have some longer questions on every other page, or every page. There's a longer question that gives a little bit either back behind the scenes or some backstory within the universe itself.
And comes with the book. I've never quite seen this before. It's kind of neat. You got a little like a little electronic scorekeeper and I guess question asker or something. I don't know what you call it. It's pretty cool. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to call it. I like to just call it the chip, since that's my name and it's kind of a computer chip. I'm just calling it that. But basically, since all the questions are multiple choice, it has 4 buttons on there, and you enter in your answer for each one, A, B, C, or D, and it keeps score. It tells you whether or not it gives you a little buzz or a little ring if you got the answer right. So you can either play randomly, it'll just pick a question for you, or you can enter in the question you want, or just go straight through 1 to 2,500. You can play by yourself, or it'll keep score for you and a friend as well.
Did you get a chance to talk to any of the actors or actresses that have been on any of these shows or movies when you put this together?
No, when I put this together, I have been lucky enough to meet so many of them. Not as many of the original series people, because they were not at the studio during the times that I was working there. But I met pretty much everyone on Next Generation, Voyager, and Deep Space Nine. 1 or 2 people on Enterprise. But I've been very lucky to meet a lot of these people.
Patrick Stewart, did you get a chance to talk to him, the second captain?
Yes, I had actually several times met Mr. Stewart. I knew his assistant pretty well, so I got to actually have lunch with him once, so that was very cool.
Yeah, that must have been kind of fun. And it's a really fun book to read. Even if you're not a Star Trek fan, I think people that haven't really followed the series maybe closely are still going to enjoy it. But of course, people that have followed all the series or the movies are going to get a kick out of it. It's called Obsessed with Star Trek. Test your knowledge of the Star Trek universe. We've been talking with Chip Carter. Chip, you have a website out, or people can contact you or get the book? You have that?
Sure, you can get it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, any of the big major retailers, but my website is www.chipcarter.com, pretty easy, and I've got links to the book on there as well. Thank you very much.
Great. Do you have any other projects in the work, similar vein, or what's coming up next?
I am always hoping there'll be something else, and at this point, not anything firmed up yet, but I'm certainly hoping so, because I'd love to do some more Star Trek stuff. There's lots of stuff I'd love to do with them.
Yeah, let us know, and we'd love to have you back on again. But good luck with this book. I'm sure it's going to do very well, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you very much for having me on here. I appreciate it.